So stinking cute. Ho ho ho. Good morning, Chloe. Hi. Good morning, Coco. As you can see, it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. There actually is some sun coming out today, which is really rare for this time of year in the place where I live, so it's always nice to see that. Zoe and Chloe are doing their morning stuff. Come here, Zoe. Usually they don't really like spending a whole lot of time outside during the winter, just because it's so cold and they're not the biggest of dogs. But if they want to walk around and sniff around and see what's on the go, I have no problem with that. You want to go inside? This is the scaffolding, if you're wondering why there's a hot mess in front of our yard right now. This was previously in our living room just hours ago. Girls, you want to go in? Hey! Girls, you want to go in? Okay, let's go. So as I was looking back at one of my videos from earlier this week, I noticed that one of my eyebrows is actually out of control. I thought that looking at it straight on, it looked fine, and then I saw it in the video and I was like, oh my god, do something about that. So here I am, trying to start off Monday on the right foot. So just trying to shape them up a little bit here, and then I'm going to start doing my makeup for the day. So funny thing about this palette, I wanted to find it on the Sephora website and the Anastasia Beverly Hills website for a long time now, but it was sold out, so I think it actually might be discontinued. But I went to Winners the other day and I came across this in the makeup section, and sometimes at Winners I find the makeup isn't really sealed properly. A lot of people are opening it and kind of testing them out, which it's just kind of gross. So I was really happy to find this. It was fully wrapped in plastic, never opened. It is the Prism palette, and it has a lot of really cool colors here. You might already have this at this point, but I think it's just really unique compared to what else is on the market right now. It has some different colors, like that really bright lime green. I really like this color here. It's kind of like a sparkly forest green, which is really cool for Christmas. I wore this at a Christmas party a couple weeks ago. This beautiful gold color. So yeah, I'm happy that I found this and I can add it to my collection. So I'm starting work a little bit later than usual today. I have something I have to be at for 5:30, so that's usually around the time that I actually end up going home for the day. So this morning I woke up and I had a bit of laundry to do. I took the puppies out, gave them some breakfast, tidied up a little bit. I also had to wash my hair this morning. I was on like day 3 or day 4 hair, which is never a cute look. I have really good dry shampoos that I use. I use the Batiste one. And then, where's the other one that I use? Oh, it's this one. It's a cake dry shampoo, and it actually smells like cake, which is probably the main reason why I bought it. So I use those, but like even after using those for a couple days, it's like, okay, just wash your hair. So I thought this morning I could show you guys how I curl my hair using a flat iron. And I know it's not rocket science, but for me personally, it took me like years to get the technique down pat. I was getting weird kinks in my hair, it wasn't staying, it wasn't looking good. So I finally learned how to do it probably, I don't know, 2 years ago, and that's pretty much the only way I end up curling my hair. Sometimes I'll use a barrel, but for the most part, like for everyday curls where I just kind of want a little wave, I'm using this flat iron. So I'm just gonna dry my hair right now, finish up my makeup, and then I will show you how I do that. straightener beforehand just to make sure it's nice and hot. I'll put it usually to around 320 or slightly above there. I do have thin hair, so I really don't want to fry it completely. So I'm just gonna put this aside now and let it heat up. The next thing I'll do is I will just kind of section off my hair, and you don't have to do this, but I find it just kind of makes life a little bit easier just so that you have more control over the pieces that you're curling and you can kind of see what you're doing a little bit better. So I'll just put on a little bun on the top of my head. So next you just want to kind of brush it out, make sure all the kinks are out of it. And now that the straightener is nice and hot, I'm just going to take a section that's around an inch thick. And you're just gonna clamp down about 2 inches down from your head, turn it slightly, and the thing that I learned is that you see where the plates are here? You don't want it directly going 360 degrees. Usually what I'll do is it's kind of almost facing front, but not quite. So I'll take the end of the hair and I'm just gonna pull my hair through the straightener. Make sure that you have a bit of tension on it, and then depending on how far you want to go down, I usually don't go all the way down. That's what you get, that's the curl. So once I'm finished curling a piece of hair, usually I'll just kind of toss it to the back so that it doesn't get curled again. And then where I do have thin hair, I can kind of go pretty liberally with how much I'm taking at a time. So just again, I'm going about 2 or 3 inches down from my scalp and then putting some pressure on it. And then you're just gonna take your hair by the end and guide it through. Keeping a bit of tension on it. I don't usually go to the end on my curls, and then I just kind of give it a little flick. And it is pretty tight right now, but I am gonna go back when I finish all this and just brush everything out. I don't like the tight curl look, so I leave it like that because I want it to set at the same time. I want it to be tightly set, and then afterwards throughout the day it can fall, and usually this will stay for like a couple days in my hair. I can just go with some dry shampoo and it still kind of holds its curl and looks good. So I'm just gonna do the rest of this side and then I will come back now in a second. So now that this side is done, I'm gonna move on to this one and kind of explain things a little bit further for you. So I'm clamping down 1 to 2 inches down. You're gonna turn, not all the way to the front yet, take the end of the hair, and then you're gonna keep some tension on it and pull down, keeping the end of the hair straight. And you're just gonna ever so slightly be turning this wand or this straightener as you go down. So I don't usually curl the very end of mine. Release, give it a little twirl with your finger. Then usually what I'll do is I'll just bring it back and check it over to see if I have any hair that I missed. Looks like for the most part I got everything. So yeah, it looks like everything's done, and I'm just going to take my hairspray and put a tiny spritz in it because I don't want there to be very tight curls like they are right now. So I'm just gonna gently spray the back, and then I'm just gonna take my fingers and run it through. I don't want to take a brush right now because sometimes it could be a little bit too harsh, especially when you just did them. But I'm kind of in a rush right now, so I want to brush them up for work. So there you have it. This is the end result of that quick tutorial. I'm not sure if I helped you out or not. Hopefully you learned something from me. And yeah, this is the end result from that technique. As you can see, it's a little bit on the messy side, which I like. I'm not going to prom or anything, so I have to head off to work right now, and we'll see you guys in a little bit. Hey guys, so I'm just heading out from work right now. I'm gonna take a little break and I'm gonna go get a snack from A&W. I'm dying for one of those Beyond Meat burgers, which I know that if you're not a vegetarian or you're not, someone who tries to not consume so much meat products, you're probably thinking like, oh, that's gross, it's not a real burger. It's actually really good. It's so cold today. My car says it's 0 degrees, but I feel like that's a lie. I feel like it's way chillier than that. Maybe it's because my coat that I'm wearing today is not terribly thick. That's what I'm talking about. Beyond meat. We're good. Got our food. Also realizing I have to get some gas because, would you look at that? We're almost on empty. So I'm gonna pull in here and fill her up. Hopefully I won't freeze my buttocks off in the meantime. And away we go. Now I won't run out of gas on my way home. That's ideal. So I'm just leaving work now and I'm gonna run next door to get some groceries. I don't think I really have any good snacks at home. And I'm feeding for some guacamole. Kind of expensive, but it's worth it. Get some que-pasa chips. I like getting the unsalted version because I'm trying to stay hydrated these days. So I just got an emergency call from Andrew saying that he wanted some pad thai. But the pad thai place isn't open this late at night, so I think we're gonna get some Boston pizza. I know it's probably not the healthiest option to eat, but hey, we're both tired, it's Monday night, and why not? So I'm just gonna hang back a little bit and pick it up in 10 to 15 minutes. I apologize, by the way, if you can't really see me. I'm driving in the dark and I don't really want to have the overhead light on, and I don't actually have a viewfinder in this camera. I am interested in maybe upgrading my camera, but I'm not really going to invest in like $1,000 worth of equipment and then have it go to waste. I actually bought this camera like years ago when I was living in St. John's, and I bought it with the intention of doing YouTube, but it just never happened. I just always found excuses like, oh, I don't have the right editing software, or I don't have the right lighting, or I don't have time to do it. So this is my way of just kind of getting her done, biting the bullet, and starting to do something that I always wanted to do. And if you follow me on Instagram or on Facebook, you saw my post about how it's funny how sometimes when you go through like a life-changing event, it kind of pushes you to do the things that you always wanted to do, or it makes you kind of think about things a little bit differently. And I did go through a bit of a health scare this past fall. I'm not going to get into it now because it's kind of a long story, but I will tell you guys about it another time if you want to hear about it. But anyway, that's kind of what made me realize, okay, you know, life, it seems like you have a lot of time, but you never know what's going to happen. Hello? I'm outside Boston Pizza and Dollarama right now, and I have a couple minutes left to kill before our food is ready. So I'm gonna head into Dollarama and see if they have any cute bows and tags, because I want to get my wrapping done in the next couple days. I don't really want to be messing around with that during the weekend. I want to relax, kick off my holidays. So I'm gonna head in now and see if they have anything cute for my presents. I know this is super random, but I'm getting this sign because I'm in love with deer. We used to have a bunch of deer living in our backyard when we lived in Nova Scotia, and I just think that they're so stinking cute. Ho ho ho. So believe it or not, I can't really find any tags here, which is super disappointing. So I might have to go to Walmart or something like that, and I still feel really weird about vlogging in public. So I'm gonna keep this short because people are coming. I've got the loot.